2025. We have a quorum, so we'll call the meeting to order. Let's first take attendance. Dave McMorris here.
Matt Watkins here. Winnie Jiggy.
Darst here.
Leah Fernandez here.
All right, let's call the meeting to order. We have a new associate member, Leah Fernandez. Welcome.
Thank you.
If you don't mind, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. My name is Leah Fernandez. I've been in the Cohasset community for just over 3 years now. My husband and I moved here from the city after living there for about 11 years. We have a 5 and a 7-year-old who are both enrolled at Osgood School. And I've just had a recent change in jobs, allowing me some extra time. So my background is in higher education, executive leadership programming, and then also in tech program management. So I volunteered to help the community, and this was the way that I found myself to do that. So here I am for my first meeting. So thank you all for having me. Very excited to be here and be a part of this next chapter.
Great. We're looking forward to it. Well, first order of business tonight is to reorganize, elect our officers. So I guess first question, want to be chair?
I nominate David McMorris.
Second.
All right, it's moved and seconded to re-elect Dave Morris as chair.
Winnie Jiggy. Matt Watkins, aye.
Lee Darst, aye.
Leah Fernandez, aye.
Dave McMorris, aye. Okay, not next year though. Get
Next
ready.
year it's you, Matt.
I nominate Matt Watkins for vice chair.
I'd like to second that.
All those in favor?
Lee Darst, aye.
Leah Fernandez, aye.
Dave McMorris, aye.
Winnie Jiggy. Matt Watkins, aye.
And we need to elect a clerk from the board. Nomination?
Thank you.
So it's gonna be a member of,
Oh, it has to be.
but I'll continue to do the voting that I do.
Yeah, it helps. The clerk has to be a member of the board, but Julie is going to do all the,
Oh, well, okay.
That's promise.
is there any volunteers?
Right, I'll do it.
I nominate Lee Darst.
Oh, good. Seconded.
Okay, all those in favor? Dave McMorris, aye.
Leah Fernandez, aye.
Lee Darst, aye.
Matt Watkins, aye. Winnie Jiggy.
All right, so our officers are right. The first order of business tonight is a continued hearing on a special permit for 30 Beach Street. The application is to raise, and that's raise RAISE, the pre-existing dwelling in the floodplain overlay district. We had a hearing on this last month. I don't know that there is any further discussion. Does anyone I don't see it here for the applicant. David or Elise, anything? Chris, 30 Beach,
It's online.
okay.
If there's any questions.
Okay, if there's any, are there any questions from those on the Zoom audience?
Not seeing
No,
any.
okay. Seeing none, I move we close the hearing on 30 Beach Street.
Second.
Okay, all's in favor? David McMorris, aye.
Matt Watkins, aye. Winnie Jiggy.
Lee Darst, aye.
Leah Fernandez, aye.
All right. 30 Beach Street is closed. The next hearing is a continued hearing on 107 Atlantic Avenue. Again, a special permit. This was to extend an existing nonconformity in the floodplain overlay district. The applicant is Christine Nichols. I know that in our packets, there is an additional letter in support of this particular project. I don't know, was there anything else in the record, added to the record? Okay. Anyone here wish to discuss 107 Atlantic Avenue?
No.
And anyone on Zoom?
It's Christine Nichols. I'm here, but I'm just listening. I was told by Heidi Condon and Brendan Sullivan, who represented us last at the first hearing, that there was nothing further necessary to do. So I'm just hoping that you will vote in favor of our project. Thanks.
Okay. Okay, I'm close.
Second.
Motion to close.
Second.
Moved and seconded to close 107 Atlantic Avenue. All those in favor, Dave McMorris, aye.
Matt Watkins, aye.
Richi Hacker,
Lee Darcey.
Leah Fernandez, I.
We have one new hearing tonight on 20 Pleasant Street, which is a special permit to expand an existing accessory structure. My understanding is that the accessory structure is an accessory dwelling unit is permitted as of right under our bylaws, but it does require a special permit because there is a extension of an existing nonconformity. And I assume that Mr. Ford is here to speak on behalf of himself.
Yes.
Okay.
I brought plans, I think, you want to start online?
John Ford is on, is he related?
John Ford,
Ford.
Oh, John may be on.
John.
say John Short.
Yeah.
John Short.
Oh, John Shaw's, okay.
He's promoted.
Well, these brief comments, you said,
Yeah, Chris, could you, actually, we don't have a microphone up
There
there.
is a microphone, it's a
Chris,
hand.
okay. Yeah, if you can use the microphone, it'll help to, so the Zoom people can hear you.
we initiated a relatively modest project 6 months ago. We were going to convert a building that had been there for many, many years. I'm gonna take my hat off. Shouldn't have my hat on. And it's been used primarily for storage and occasional, work that is related to property. The property is a 5-unit residential building. I purchased this was 10 years ago now, 9 years. And the previous owner of the building, Dr. Riley, a local dentist, used it as a workshop. He was a tinkerer and he had all kinds of, and he was quite busy, I was told. And before that, in previous years, it had been used as a workshop. I'm not much of a tinkerer myself, and I don't do too well with it. So, but I have I've been involved with real estate. I own that building, and I used to own a real estate firm, and I own some other property, not much, but a few. So I was going to turn it into an office for myself. Just working there and get away from the house and have a little place to go to, and maybe do a little bit of tinkering. But then the ADU law came along and it was modified. And as it was pointed out, I learned that by right, I would qualify to have an accessory dwelling unit. And this just frankly made good sense. We had all the requisite requirements in hand. We have parking for designated parking, 6 vehicles. And so we have the necessary parking. The size of the building, it's small, it's 18 by 12. But I've made a visit point of visiting some tiny houses. And it's about the same size as the building I'm converting. It can be a nice studio apartment. And the main reason we're here tonight is that we can do it by right. This building inspector, we've already paid for a permit. But we wanted to put a shed dormer on the building, which would make it, well, I'm not attractive, but it would give it some natural light. And it's a very modest shed dormer, 10 feet in width. It would change the elevation by about 25 to 30 inches. That's why I wish my son was here. If he's online, he told me he'd try to get online. And if he's not, that's okay. But I believe you all had copies of the plan. You can look at them more closely if you want. But it's been reviewed by the building inspector. You do have to have a special permit, Chris, when you modify a previously non-conforming building. And he also suggested, it was his suggestion, the building inspector, that we create a bump out. He thought we needed more space to put in a water heater and to give us a little more storage space. And he said, you can do this within your rights. So we accepted the suggestion and we built it. It's about 8 feet across and it's under 7 feet, so it does not count as additional square footage in the buildings. So that's why we're here tonight. And strictly to have to act on those two modifications to the building. And I'm glad to answer any questions you might have.
Okay, I have a question on that. Is the peak of the roof, the current existing roof,
Yes,
the dormer's not going to be higher than that.
no, it's gonna be less. No.
So you're going to be a little more height on the front of the building because of the dormer, but not as high as the peak.
Sure, it's that much in. It matches the height of the wheel about 6 inches and the tape is lower as it goes out, so we built the apartments we have now we have 4 one-bedroom apartments and 1 2-bedroom. The 2-bedroom is occupied by a Cohasset school teacher. She teaches the STEM science and technology classes at Cohasset High School. And her 13-year-old daughter lives there with her. Another tenant is the head waitress at the Red Lion Inn. Another is a longtime Cohasset resident, Mr. Good, who after living in Hull and the place he was living in apparently was being sold. He's very excited to be living in Cohasset. Recently had a local doctor in there renovating a house and rented it for 3 months. We don't look for short-term rental. We prefer long-term rental. We have a vacancy and someone needs something for a short time. We'd like to accommodate them. So it's a mix of but the rents are modest and they find compared to other places in town. I shouldn't name them, but Avalon and Hill and others. They usually for 1 bedroom, it's usually $3,000 range, and most of these are below $2,000. It's affordable housing.
Any other board members have questions or comments?
The only question I have is that you've got you said how many 1-bedroom units?
4.
4, and then you have a 2-bedroom unit.
Yes.
So that's 6 bedrooms, obviously. And you've got now you're adding another bedroom. You've got 6 parking spaces.
Well, currently, you don't need a parking space for each bedroom. You need a parking space for each unit. But we already have 6 parking spaces, and now we're adding a 6th unit.
I was trying to find where that.
The Board of Assessors has classified this as an 11-bedroom building. And it's been treated that way, tax-wise and everything else. But over the years, the bedroom count changed because as people moved in, moved in for the things, and they converted rooms into something else. And so they eliminated a bedroom and created like an office. And these rooms don't have closets. They don't meet the criteria of being bedrooms in the first place. So the assessor's office did go over recently, and they notified the sewer department that we classified incorrectly. We only have six apartments, we will have six apartments, there are 5 apartments, not 11 apartments. 11, yeah. But I'm mixing up apartments and bedrooms, I don't mean to do that, but yeah.
And you're in an RA district.
Yes.
Okay.
Guess what, even though he's applied 3A, like the criteria for 4.3, which is the ADU, would be applicable as well, right?
Probably, yeah.
I mean, I don't see any,
What do you mean by that?
I mean, just the. So he's applied for the existing non. But then it also yields an ADU, so. It probably is subject to 8.3A as well as
Section 4.
4.3.
If I can just repeat jobs, it's not because it's only for the dimensional relief, so the use is allowed by right. In the
Okay.
zone, so it's under the square footage, doesn't require special.
But it would have to comply to like the criteria of an ADU, which would, like, one of the things would be, no short-term rentals,
Yeah, so I think that would be taken care of through the building department.
Short-term rentals under 30 days.
Right.
We wouldn't do that. In the past, we've been allowed to do that. In the past, we've done some bed and breakfast. We've had no one who, not bed and breakfast, Airbnb. We were using one of the apartments as an Airbnb, just to see what it was like, but we were not. We were looking only for people who want, 2 or 3 months. And, but now we don't do that anymore. It's too, I just celebrated my 84th birthday and I'm getting a bit tired of managing apartments and everything else. So I'm just trying to lower my workload.
Okay, anyone else on the board have a question or comment?
I don't.
Have you shared the plan at all with, have you shared the plan at all with any of the abutting neighbors?
Well, yes, Mr. Schott, I had some discussions with him. He's the direct abutting neighbor. And, I think he had some questions about, how it was going to be used. At one point, we were going to call it, my little company is called Cohasset Realty Advisors, and I'm the only advisor in the company. So it's a rather small company. I did have 70 agents at one time when I ran a bigger company, 6 offices, but anyhow, that's my company now. And I put the sign up, and I think that may have thought people it's going to be a real estate office, but we changed our mind when we learned, we were actually advised by the planning board and by Julia, that we could qualify to be an ADU. And so they brought that to my attention. I didn't go out looking to create an apartment, but when they just pointed it out, you could qualify under the changed law. And I said, well, that's good. That's a nice use for the building. I shouldn't be revealing my estate plans, but I have 6 grandchildren, and I've already told them that they're going to share the building, and they won't be allowed to sell it until the youngest one, who's now 8, is 25. And so it's going to continue because real estate's been good to me, and I want the kids to learn that it can be a good place to, put a little money. So they're going to fight amongst themselves about how to use it. But they can't sell. They might all live in separate apartments. I couldn't be that fun.
Yeah.
I'd love to see it.
All right,
I have one thing. What's the square footage of this shed again?
Yeah, just under 200. Or it might actually
200 feet? 200 square feet?
200 square feet. Yeah. 18 by 12. Yeah, it's was it 196 or something? I'm not sure.
Okay, so
Okay,
it wouldn't qualify as an ADU-L. It's not large enough.
No, we wouldn't want that either. Yeah.
Okay, and space one is going to be designated for the new conversion. Space number one is,
You know what's parking here?
yeah,
Well, no, normally, space number one goes to the unit number one. And, so there are five, and number six was actually the owner's space, and I don't need a parking space because I don't sleep there and I wouldn't park cars overnight there. And all of the parking accommodates tandem parking. It's a very large parking lot, as you can see. And so, if it's a husband and wife, they have to park tandem, one behind the other. And we also have a public parking lot across the street. It's run by the town of Quebec, right next to, one list. And, so I've told people that if they have guests or something, the guests can, park across in public parking. That's what it is. It's town parking. And it's within 50 feet of the building, so.
notes? All right, anyone in the audience have questions or comments? Weeks? Yes, please. Identify yourself.
Oh, you might want the mic.
My name is Alix White. I'm at 25 James Lane, which is directly on the back of Butter. I did have some questions about the ADU by right. When we voted on this at town meeting, it was my understanding that you had to live there for an ADU to be qualified. Could you answer that?
Yes. You don't,
You don't have to, the owner does not have to live in the building?
in the principal unit, you mean?
On the property at all?
No,
That's what I thought I voted on.
For an ADU-L,
yes,
it says that the owner
The
has to
owner.
live in either the primary or the ADU building. But I don't see that on the ADU.
Okay,
there's ADUs and there's ADU-Ls. Ls are large ADUs.
Oh,
And in those, the principal, the owner has to be either in the ADU or in the principal building.
And the law, when the town voted on the ADU, it was true. You had to live in it. The state has changed the law. In the municipal communities, it had to.
Yeah, but that's right, the amendments that we did at town meeting were to get our zoning law in conformance with the state law,
yeah,
because the state's trying to promote affordable housing.
okay. So as a neighbor, I just want to make it clear that this building housed garden equipment. But it had plenty of space for a lawnmower. My concern as a neighbor is that it's going to be too small for a human being to live in. So that my concern is that the camel's nose is going under the tent, and the only way that this can be habitable is if it gets bigger, because there's no way to really live in this comfortably for 3 months or more for the long-term rental that he's describing. That's my concern.
There are many tiny houses that are being habitated. This side of it's small.
But they probably have land around them, that's the thing.
This is land.
It's our land behind you and
No.
abutting, anyway, My concern is that there isn't enough space for a human to live in this unit. Without doing overflow. Trash and bicycles. There's this not enough room for, but I would be less with.
Well, isn't that a determination that the building inspector will make when he gives an occupancy permit or denies an occupancy permit?
That's all, that's all building code stuff. The space is either going to conform with the building code and get an occupancy permit, or it's not, and it's not gonna get one.
Okay,
But we don't have any authority to decide that. That's a state
okay,
building code issue.
okay.
And the building inspector handles all that.
Building inspector handles.
Mhm.
it. Thank you. Okay, that's what I.
We've already paid for the building, permit, so we're just waiting to the commission to have the shed done. And that the,
Yeah, I mean,
And if it
the
was-
zoning board in general doesn't deal with interior spaces. It's exterior, dimensional setbacks, height, things of that sort. Sure.
Okay,
Yeah, and I guess if the concern was that this would be like a stepping stone to make it larger and larger,
Yeah.
they would have to come back to this board.
come back to you.
Yeah,
yeah.
if there was a new plan to enlarge the project further, it would have to come to us, and it would be noted that it's already received relief from the board one time, so even if the members here weren't the same, it would be an application to demonstrate that the board has already extended some sort of relief to the project previously.
John Short in the audience has his hand raised.
Okay,
Hey, thank you all very much. I'm at 30 Pleasant, so the abutting property to Chris. I do want to note Chris has been a good neighbor over the last couple of years, and although I am would prefer not to have the ADU, I hope that our friendship continues. My concerns in reading the document, and maybe I was looking at the ADUL, was that this was the precedent here is a little nerve-wracking for a resident of Cohasset, where the potential here for anybody to turn a utility shed or a lawnmower shed into a unit, no matter how close it is to the abutting property, is a concern for me. I also was someone who voted on the ADU, and it's and I think it's a good law. However, I do have concerns with the ADU being on a property in which the owner is not there, and I understand that applies to ADULs according to what you said, but I think it's a concern, and I think it's worth noting. And then finally, it's non-conforming, and so we're looking to add, or Chris is looking to add 27 feet to this property, which is non-conforming.
thank you. And just so I'm clear, the additional square footage that you're adding, it's non-conforming, is not going to be outside the existing footprint. It's going to be within the existing footprint of what's the building envelope.
actually, that 27 feet, that was actually the building inspector's suggestion to us. We did not have that in the original plan. And he suggested that legally, we could do this. Because if you keep it below 7 feet, it does not count as square footage. And it'll give you some necessary space, for certain equipment, so.
Okay, so you're talking about the storage area.
The storage area.
Okay,
It's a storage area, and it's gonna contain the water heater and, it's like a little closet space, for
and the dormer is within the existing building envelope.
yes, it.
But Give me that, if you wouldn't mind again, the under 7 feet in height.
I'm not an architect, I don't know, but my son said because it's under, it's only when it exceeds 7 feet that it translates into square footage in the building. In other words, yeah. That's like,
It's certainly all lot coverage. I mean, that 7 feet has nothing to do with lot coverage.
Mhm.
yeah, I'm sorry, my son isn't.
They're looking at probably the sides.
Planning.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's. I didn't know.
It's not living space when it's like, apparently that must be it, because
Ah.
you can't stand up.
Yeah, okay, there's a 7 foot,
Yes,
minimum
that's,
7 foot to
that's right.
have that be happen. But you could put a utility in.
Yeah, you can't walk in there, you bend down, but stuff like that, it doesn't count as square footage, right?
It's 8 feet tall. Doesn't say under 7 feet, it says it's 8 feet. According to the plan that Morse Engineering developed.
It takes it down, apparently,
I think maybe what they're looking at is,
it's a pitchy roof in the low.
Shows 7 feet here.
What page you on, Dave?
I'm on A 102A, showing 7 feet from the floor to the bottom of the rafters.
All wood.
I think they have like a 3-foot setback on the side from the shed. And
Right,
maybe they're looking at that. You know, if you're under 15 feet in height, you can be
And it's 75 feet back.
and then notch it a little. And once they get outside that notch area, it becomes compliant.
hmm
Okay.
All board.
Oh, hi. I've been called upon. So in regards to the 7 feet, that's ceiling height, and if it's less than 7 feet, it isn't considered part of square footage counts for regulations. But it's in the zoning bylaws when you look at a gross square footage.
In the definition of square footage.
Yeah, and and then it's one of the caveats for calculating square footage.
Yeah, I'm less concerned with that than with the dimensional piece of it.
Yeah, and that's the extent of it. It's just whether or not it counts for the regulations of square footage limits. But
Certainly counts. Yeah, I assume. Coverage definitions, right?
With what?
Coverage, structure.
It definitely gets struck as coverage, yeah.
Yeah, the building inspector recommended this to us, that was his recommendation, so.
I believe when we filled out the application, it did have that increase in lot coverage and that sort of thing listed all there.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell.
An increase of 20 feet, I think.
Yeah, it's an increase of 20 feet, and we're talking about the entire lot, not just the area around the ADU.
Yeah.
Lee?
I don't
Anything?
have a question.
Matt? Woody?
No.
Else? Dave or Leaks?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask. I know that you had expressed your opinion as a board that the owner did not have to be residents in the building. Is this on? Hello?
Yeah, you have to turn it on.
Yeah, that they didn't have to be in residence, but is the intent of this regulation to, it was my understanding that the intent of this was to apply to single-family dwellings, not to apartment buildings. And I don't know if that is worded that way. I went over it, I looked at it, I mean, you know, I'm not a lawyer. I did look over it, and it seemed to me that it referred to single-family dwellings adding an ADU as opposed to essentially the expansion of an apartment building. And that's my concern, that is a precedent. And that would set the precedent that that apartment buildings, multi-family dwellings, whatever, could be expanded by the use of creating ADUs. And that's my concern. And I don't know the resolution of it. In my reading, that, and in my memory, which agreed has some issues lately, but my memory is at town meetings, when this was discussed and so forth, that it primarily referred to single-family dwellings to create an ADU, i.e. mother-in-law. But
We had an existing ADU bylaw for years and years and years, which was virtually almost never, ever used. What's happened here, and it's, to make it clear, it's not our opinion about the owner living there. It's in the regulation.
Yeah.
A lot of this ADU regulation is, the reason it was changed is to make it conform with the new state law on ADUs. So the state has a policy of trying to create more affordable housing. And one of the goals that they had in passing the law was to kind of restrict local zoning boards from being able to limit ADUs. I guess one of the identified problems is that there's not much affordable housing because zoning boards weren't letting it happen. So this is a way to force towns to create more affordable housing. There is no restriction in the state and now our bylaw that it has to be single-family residential use. It has to be, the principal use of the building has to be a residential. And a multifamily is a residential principal use. So it does qualify.
that was my.
Okay. This is one of those areas where they have limited our discretion
Yeah.
substantially.
Yeah, I think to be fair, your recollection is correct, but the state, since we had that town meeting where ADUs were revised, the state changed its regulation
Yeah, okay.
after 6 months after the town.
Failed to notify.
They-
All right, that was really my comment.
Okay, thank you.
One question. So why couldn't you add the ADU to the existing building and keep the garden shed as a garden shed? Because this is the size of this building and the non-conformity. They could add another apartment onto the existing.
Well, perhaps he could, but his application is to convert this particular shed. And if it's legal, it's legal.
short.
Okay.
Sorry about that. I was on mute. The paperwork I have here for the PB6 amendments to Article 4.3 accessory to use regulations and Article 2 definitions and 4.3B, Section B, it says an ADU will not be permitted on a lot on which more than one principal dwelling is located. Is that the law that you're saying was updated by the state after the town voted?
Principal dwellings, the multifamily, right?
Right.
There is a principal dwelling now, a single principal dwelling.
What's that? I didn't hear that.
Single Principal dwelling. There's a building on the lot as we speak.
Okay.
So that one,
It's one dwelling. It's a multifamily dwelling, but it's one dwelling.
But two principal dwellings would look like, would represent.
See, unfortunately, when they overhauled this, there is no definition of what a principal dwelling is
Mhm.
in our law.
As you can tell, we're new to us too. And I think we'll probably see more of it. Well, it's reading what's there. Anyone else? Anything else? Anyone else? Anyone online or on Zoom?
No hands raised.
Okay. I have a motion to continue.
I'll make a motion to continue for 20 Pleasant Street.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to continue the 20 Pleasant Street hearing until our next meeting. All those in favor, Dave McMorris, aye.
Matt Watkins, aye.
Woody Chidick, aye.
Lee Darcey.
Leah Fernandez, aye.
All right, we've continued 20 Pleasant. Just so everyone understands, we, as a matter of course, continue an initial hearing to the next hearing. The next hearing, we generally have a draft decision. There's no new stuff between now and then. We just go close it, go to the deliberations and finish it out. It always takes at least 10 minutes. Okay?
Thank you.
What's it coming to the principal dwelling?
All right.
Well, this is 4.3 right here, so it's right. Back. Oh,
All right, where did they?
oh, okay.
Yeah, I can never find the tables.
What are you looking for?
The tables, it's like the dimensional tables.
Yeah, it's in section,
The
five,
town had to adopt it.
hours uses.
Right?
So we're five,
Oh, okay, here it is.
and then pages aren't numbered, but five.
All right, I see.
three.
5.3 table.
This, the first footnote on 5.3, so,
Yeah, I reviewed
um,
mine, I just.
3 feet for any accessory
Well,
building,
we just got
15 feet
they
in
were-
height, setback
they
75
were
feet
not
from the
gonna
lot. I don't know if it's setback 75 feet, but
So intend
it's
to-
certainly.
Hopefully we, this is. we were- it's got the- oh, this meeting. Everybody's flipping around and.
75 feet from the front lot.
I didn't.
I presume this is up front lot line. But this is- it's-
Well, we'll see you on October 6th.
Okay, good.
And that comes, so it isn't set back 75 feet.
See you in October, guys.
Okay, thanks.
If the setback, 75-foot setback, is considered
You say 75.
75, I think, except, yeah, the first footnote, 5.3. 3 feet for any accessory building with that's talking setback. With less than 15 feet in height, yes, setback at least 75 feet in front lot line. This is 60, probably 60 feet setback. They don't particularly say, but really wouldn't qualify.
Well, it's in the RA district, right?
Yep.
So are you talking rear setback?
Um,
But,
the side setback.
Or wouldn't that be?
but it's a pre-existing non-conforming.
Yeah. So.
Now, if it was a new
they were
building going
extending
in,
the
that would apply, but
non-conformity, Yeah.
all right, well, getting back to the agenda. Couple of things. Well. We have two closed hearings to deliberate. 50 Beach Street and 107 Atlantic Avenue. So. We have draft decisions on each of those. Everyone had a chance to look them over?
I did. I thought they were representative of the hearings. And they were captured all of the important details.
Okay, we will have to have one change, 'cause Charlie's not here. On the vote decision. So can I have a motion to approve the decision as written with that one change?
I think you should probably appoint the third.
Yes. Actually, Leah, you can be the third member today.
Okay, thank you.
Not
I
you.
accept my appointment.
Leah.
Oh, Leah.
Yeah.
Oh, but she didn't sit through
Oh,
the
she-
actual
Oh, you
hearing.
didn't sit in the hearing, right? Never mind.
Say?
Lee,
Oh, you
I meant
were like-
Lee.
I would
Trying to
abstain.
hop over.
Lee and Leah. Oh, this is.
You
gonna
were
be
trying
fun.
to
Nice
hop
to-
over me.
Okay, so Lee is going to be the third voting member. So can I have a motion? Did we do a motion already? No? Can I have a motion on 30 Beach Street? As drafted with that one change on voting member?
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we approve the draft decision with minor edit to reflect Lee Darst as a voting member for 30 Beach Street to approve the application for special permit.
Okay, is there a second?
I second it.
All right. All those in favor? David McMorris, aye.
Matt Watkins, aye.
Lee Darcey.
Leah Fernandez, aye.
Woody?
Oh, what did you guy? I didn't know.
All right, next is 107 Atlantic Avenue.
You were here.
We're gonna need the same change on that one. Um,
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying.
Yes. No, I was gonna abstain.
They couldn't.
Yes.
All right, does anyone have
Yeah.
any comments on the 107 Atlantic Avenue
Is the.
decision?
20%.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, I thought it looked good as well. I can make a motion that we approve the special permit application for 107 Atlantic Avenue as drafted with one edit to reflect Lee Darst as voting member.
For a second,
Second,
all those in favor, David Morris, aye.
Matt Watkins, aye.
Lee Darcey.
Woody Chidick,
Right. So we are now, we have minutes of, excuse me, August 4th meeting.
I read those and they looked accurate.
Okay,
oh my God.
any other comment? Questions? All right. Have a motion to approve the minutes as drafted.
Motion to approve the minutes as drafted.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor of approving the August 4th minutes, Dave McMorris, aye.
Matt Watkins, aye.
Lee Darcey.
Woody Chidick,
And probably you should abstain. since you-
Abstain.
All right, now the next meeting date we need to discuss is, right now we're on for October 6th. Does that work for everybody?
yeah.
Okay. We do have an issue with the next meeting after October, because November 3rd is a special town meeting.
Oh, it's town meeting.
So we need to either go the week after or the week before. We do have an application that has been accepted by the town clerk, which will, if we went to the second week in November, we may run into some time period problems from the date of filing. So we probably are gonna need to do a meeting before, like in the last Monday in October. So that would be October 25th, I believe.
Yeah, I'm okay.
27.
27th. Okay.
I'm okay on that day.
Yeah,
Are you okay on that
that's October
27th?
27th.
Yeah, of course.
So does that mean there won't be a November meeting?
If, hopefully, yes.
Wait,
You know,
hopefully, yes, there'll be a meeting, or hopefully the
Hopefully,
October
we-
27th.
October
will-
27th is our November meeting.
Okay.
It does depend on if anybody else files
Yep.
something, but,
Yeah.
Partially submitted for 91, 95 Elm Street.
so the property that was raised,
Yeah,
RAZED.
it is, okay, is
Not
there
all of the materials are in yet, so it's not.
so if it's been accepted by the town clerk, there are materials still to come. When does the clock is already running, even though it's an incomplete application? Doesn't seem to make sense.
Town council advised that we act as though that is the start of the clock.
Okay, well, it's.
I think we were trying to
It's just-
eliminate as many potential issues as
Yeah,
possible.
yeah, okay.
Oh,
So October 27th will be our meeting following our October 6th meeting.
okay.
That concludes all our formal business for tonight. Does anyone else have anything they'd like to discuss before we adjourn? No? Okay. I move we adjourn our meeting for this evening.
Second.
All those in favor, Dave McMorris, aye.
Matt Watkins, aye.
Woody Chidick,
Lee Darcey.
Thank you very much. We're done.